Have you ever had a moment when you realized that your life was just never going to be the same again? That from here on out, everything would be different, that everything had changed? If so, you may have experienced trauma. And trauma comes in different forms. There's acute trauma, which is a single stressful or dangerous event, like a serious accident or a natural disaster. And usually, this type of trauma is connected to PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, a term that was used to describe the effects of soldiers' mental health after coming home from the Vietnam War in 1975. Chronic trauma is repeated exposure to stressful experiences like racism, long-term illness, and bullying. And just as a constant trickle of water can slowly wear away even the hardest rock, chronic trauma gradually erodes a person's resilience and well-being over time, leaving deep marks that are hard to heal. There is a type of trauma that many experts believe is at the root of most other traumas. It could be the reason why different people can experience the same traumatic event, but only certain individuals develop PTSD. It's called Complex Developmental Trauma, or CDT, also known as Complex PTSD. And it primarily shows up in three ways. Number one is neglect. This is the most common way CDT happens. Usually this occurs when a parent is physically or emotionally unavailable for their child on a regular basis. Number two is abuse. The most common type of abuse that children experience is sexual abuse, then followed by physical and emotional abuse. Number three is domestic violence, in which a child's caretakers display physical or emotional abuse to each other around their child. As you were growing up, if you didn't feel secure in your attachment with a caregiver, or if you feared your caregiver, it might have dramatically impacted your physical, emotional, and social development in the following ways. It could have changed your brain, making it smaller and affecting the growth of the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for planning, working memory, focusing attention, and controlling emotions. It might have made it harder for you to trust others in your adult relationships, and it could have created symptoms similar to PTSD and other mental health problems, such as being very active and aggressive, feeling very sad and wanting to be alone, zoning out or feeling detached, being overly sensitive to sounds, touch, or lights, avoiding things, having tantrums and getting angry, having obsessive habits, and finding it hard to understand others' feelings or having trouble expressing yourself verbally. Trauma is like a mental wound. It's not just what happened to you, but also what happened inside of you as a result. This mental wound could be understood in two ways, like an open sore that's hypersensitive to triggers, and like scar tissue that numbs and protects, but also limits growth and feeling. Trauma can both make us feel extra sensitive to certain things while also numbing us to our own feelings and disconnecting us from our bodies. Here's why talking to a therapist about your trauma can really help. Trauma is like being lost in a never-ending storm at sea, and therapists are like a lighthouse helping you navigate out of this storm. They teach you self-care, grounding, and relaxation techniques to help you regulate your emotions. And these skills are like an anchor, holding you steady when the waters get really rough. Therapists can also help you understand and process your trauma, grieve the experience, and then leave it in the past. This can slowly but surely make those storm clouds themselves move and allow the sunshine to break through. If you want to learn more about trauma and how to heal from it, then visit sandstonecare.com or call using the number below. They will get to know you and your unique situation and connect you with the support that you need. Change is possible, and Sandstone Care is here to help.